Glad you showed up today, Kurt.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Before listening, ask a doctor if your heart is healthy enough for Dallas Cowboys football.
This is Hangin' with the Boys. Broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, and Shannon Gross.
Monday! Woo!
Woo.
I don't know what's going on with this mic.
I don't know.
We have a very special guest producer today. Welcome to the show, William Boykins.
All right. Mr. Hot Boys himself.
You can say something, William.
Hey, so can he put himself up on the screen or he don't know how to do that?
I don't know. He sounds like he's struggling to put anything up. So
You don't know how to put yourself on the screen, William?
I'm
Don't
standing
worry about it. Don't worry about it. You may cut us off there. Don't even worry about it, man. Wow.
Well, thank you, William. There he is. Hey!
Yeah. Bro Will. That's Bro Will.
Yes.
Douglas is out on spring break with the kids, and Kent had to go film for a Deep Blue documentary. And
I think just about everybody's out except four of us.
oh, it's so quiet around here.
It is.
Why didn't you take off spring break? You got a house full of
I might take a little time off later, but just other stuff going on.
like what? What are you that busy with right now?
Well, part of it is I already missed some time, and so now I'm.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows you.
Hold on. He said he's missed. We needed you the most. That's when you wasn't here, bro.
Yeah.
Now
Take off
everybody
now.
else gone. Now you
off
want to
now.
show up with it.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, let's get
man.
out of here about 2:00 today. Yeah. All right.
All right.
What are you doing for spring break?
Oh, nothing, man. My baby boy's down in Fort Lauderdale. I just gave him a call. Mm-hmm. You know, what you been doing? So, oh, man, Daddy, we went to Miami. I said, yeah, that's where the stars go vacation at. I said, you ain't a star, all right? Keep your nose clean.
Did you do anything this weekend? Anything fun?
Hung out with my wife, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's definitely fun, man.
How long
And,
have you been married now?
About 13, 14 years. And then, then got a little thing pop up, say something about Sean Lee. I don't even know what that said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Let's get into that. I'm glad you brought that up. We got all kind of good stuff. Free agency starts
I'm serious, man.
Wednesday.
I'm hanging out with the wife, and all of a sudden, Sean Lee is back. I'm like, what, he got to hit an album or something? Is he doing rap?
Yeah.
Is he done got with Beasley? They throwing
Did he leave?
some salsa?
I'd like to hear that.
I didn't even know he left.
I mean,
No.
So what's the deal, Kurt?
There was concern he might leave.
What happened?
They basically restructured his salary, cut it in half, I think.
Are you? All right, now look.
Like $7 million now, it's down to like $3.5.
Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
We have this youth movement that we
Yes.
started
Yes.
through 2-3 years ago, and now we done messed the curve up. Brought old man Whip, Gold Jacket Whip back.
Yeah.
Now we're bringing Sean Lee's back. So now are these good moves in your opinion?
I like the Sean Lee move for sure because I think he understands his role. He said that in the last season he knew he'd be a reserve, and he's here to help those guys, and he has helped those guys. I think he's a big mentor for Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch. I think they've already said that. He's a huge help. So I don't, especially now that at $7 million, he probably wouldn't have been worth it. But he's willing to restructure. He knows his role. I like that move.
Yeah. And he's good with, man, I tell you what.
Witten, I
For
hope.
we'll get to that in a second. For everybody that gets mad at these players for wanting their money, think about how quick this game turns on you. Sean Lee was one of the best.
just a year ago.
Yeah. Could have been one of the best to ever do it if he could have stayed healthy. But a year ago, he was starting. It was like nobody's going to take his spot. And now, a year later, he's coming back as a reserve role for these two young guys that have been bought. So
I think he's essentially a player coach now. I mean, that's kind of his role, and I think he understands that and wants that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good. What do you think, Nate?
Just like with Witten. Witten is different. I mean, it's a win now thing with me. And Sean Lee and his role, I think, is great. But I'm hoping that this is it. I'm hoping that because you can't have 5 or 6 guys 30-plus years old on your roster, and all of them, hey, this is the leader of the team. The leaders are what's out there on the field playing and contributing and making a difference. So, yes, you making help with the film, but that don't have the speed of the game, you know. So, Sean Lee, I'm glad he back. Witten, I'm glad he back because now, okay, if you didn't like the tight ends, play Witt. Don't bring him in. You know, and me and Kurt talked about it. Don't bring him in for no 25 snaps. If he's our best tight end, let's go 2 tight ends to offset, you know, get Schultz some work, get some work for Barring. I don't know who's going to be, what's going to happen with Jeff or whatever, but it's time to win.
You think it's almost all or nothing with Witten? Either he's going to be full-time all the time or you don't need him.
The reason I think he stays healthy is because he plays and bangs and his body is used to it. And he don't stand on the sideline and just long periods of time and get cold.
Yeah.
You know, he took a year off. His legs is fresh. He's going, you know, he's good at stretching, keeping his body right. You know, when they first brought him out, I was like, oh my God, what are we doing here? But if you as a coaching staff says that this guy is the best on the market, better than what we got, improves our team greatly by bringing him back. Bring him back and play him. Don't bring him back for him to just, I mean, for what? Just stand over there, okay, yeah. I mean, to me, I'm trying to make sense of not playing him, but I can't. I keep coming back to if he was not good enough, why Jeff Swain, we don't put his life on limbo. Like, hey, man, if you get a decent offer, bye. So we don't put his life in limbo. Schultz got a, you know, it's supposed to be his show this year. Okay, what we do there? Blake, we know he can catch the ball. We know he can play. He can get deep. So what do we do there? So if you think Witten is the man, let's play Witten.
One guy we the last couple of weeks we haven't mentioned in this conversation is Rico. Is that done? Is that a done deal? You guys think?
I would think so. I mean, isn't it kind of the old standard, at least for Landry, is, you know, you got 3 years to show me something, and he's had his 3. And, I mean, obviously the talent is there. I don't know if the drive is there or something. I don't know him well enough at all, but it just,
you know,
I don't
we
think
got
it's worked out.
We got Joe Thomas, man, and Looney back, and Daniel Ross, guys that care about playing. You know, the other guys, if I don't mention their name, you can call in here and say all you want. I want guys that care about playing. And that last name you mentioned, I don't know how much he really care about playing. We need 10-plus wins. We don't need to go into this year, and if I get a little, seem like I'm angry or a little upset or a little out of joint, it's because I am, because we need guys. I'm tired of losing, and I'm tired of being inconsistent. The goal this year should be 10-plus wins. And if I look at a player, you know, I hope it don't get me fired, but if I look at a player and say, this dude can't help us win, because I'm going to sit and think, you know, when I talk to you this weekend, I'm thinking, golly, man, okay, all right, no Swain. You know, what we going to do with Blake? What we going to do with Schultz? Okay, Jason Witten is the best thing on the market, because we couldn't have got another guy in here for $2 million, $2.5 million.
Yeah.
Not a quality tight end that can play an inline, outside the tackle, tight end that can give you some form of blocking or has the knowledge to know how to block in certain situations, and give us that security that my man Blake Jarwin gave us at the end of the year. Those only 3 guys. He's the only guy at that price, because you weren't going to bring another tight end in here for less than $5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That price, yeah. That's interesting. He's here. Let him go.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah.
I mean, give me your honest opinions, bro. I'm serious. I mean, people say progress stop. Okay, not if we really go to the tight ends. If Schultz grow, get a little stronger, a little more physical, we back to the 2 tight ends. Mm-hmm. Now, even when it's 3rd and 1, whereas before we had no other choice, or 3rd and 3, where we had no other choice but to try to run Zeke up in there on 9 or 10 men. Now we can leak one of these dudes out of here and make some things happen. The waggle, the boots, the moving him around. I'm talking about the quarterback a little. Now that really becomes a viable option.
Right.
Whereas last year that wasn't a viable option, especially when Swain got hurt. And Schultz was still slow to catch the speed of the game. So here we go, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
we know with Lee that we know Van Der Esch and Jalen are better now at this point in their careers. We don't know that yet with the tight ends. Witten may come in here and be the best one still. And like you said, give him the ball.
Give him the ball. I mean, hey, was I excited when they first? I was like, oh my God. I'm like, really?
Yeah, that's kind of what
I'm serious, man. I'm gonna be honest, But but like I say, calm down and get to thinking. You want 10+ wins. I can see Witten stabilizing his position. Schultz, the other tight end, because remember the other dude we had from Oklahoma that he had bone on bone.
James Hanna.
Yeah,
James Hanna.
Never talked about Hanna, but Hanna, I promise you, if he could still play, he would still be here. Mm-hmm. Because he was that other guy that could set the edge, and we could run to either side now. You didn't know where that ball was coming. Or he was good enough to catch that one ball a game that, boom, keep it. We go from on an average of maybe 60 plays, because when we first started, we was getting 48, 50 plays. Now we back. If things go according to plan, now we back to that average of 65 plays a game. When we play 65 plays a game, we play the slow 65 because we running, we waggling, we getting 3 yards, we getting 4 yards. We don't play the 65 where it's just 70 yards, touchdown. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? We play that slow grind, so now that defense said them with arrested.
Yeah.
I
mean, if he's the best option,
I'm
let
serious.
him play.
Because if we don't, then it's like we did last year with we had 8 wide receivers, and we couldn't get between 8 guys. We couldn't get 20 completions at the beginning of the year. Remember, we could not get 20 completions.
Yeah. The worst case scenario is if Witten's not the better guy and he doesn't want to take on that backup role, but.
Yeah,
that's hard to say. You won't know that till training camp. So
we'll see.
Hopefully. Okay. Worst case scenario, and now you say, well, it ain't costing us about $2 million.
Yeah,
that's the worst. That is the worst case scenario. Now they gonna say, and they cut this dude. I won't even mention his name. Oh, they cut such and such. And what's the difference? Both of them standing up on the sideline.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
All right, free agency start today is, I guess, what they call legal tampering.
Tampering started yesterday, actually.
Yesterday, where they can talk to. Yes, saw that.
Boy, teams. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't mean to cut you off, bro. I got so much on my mind. Let me tell you something, man. Mr. Stevens Jones has always said we're gonna sign our own. And I'm not panicking about D-Law. I'm not. Okay, we got Joe Thomas signed. We that was a must for me. There's certain guys that I like to see. Joe Looney, thank you, because now he can not only compete at our backup center, but he can compete at the left guard position. That giving us depth. Daniel Ross showed to be very, very solid last year. I still think we need to drive a big horse. Yeah. Alan Hearns, evidently he's getting healthy and things. So you can't tell me Alan Hearns moving down in the slot with the 2 guys outside and Beasley don't show back up. We got Witt, we got a force, and we got Barron. We got a chance. We got a chance. So those I think was some good signs. The Darian Thompson guy I don't know much about. Justin Marsh Lillard, glad to have him back. I told a lot of guys, the radio show I do, I said, hey, fellas, don't be surprised if we sign a lot of small contracts first and maybe one mid-range contract before we get to D-Law. Don't panic. Don't panic. D-Law's a little upset. I've been kind of getting outside. People have been, yeah, we going to touch your feelings, D-Law, but I pray they give you your money.
Well, talk about that. Signing a bunch of these little guys, letting them not test the market.
Inexpensive guys. We call them little guys.
None of them are little. They're professional football players.
Yeah.
So,
wow, look at
Oh, a little production value.
hey,
what's up, man?
See how he comes in and out of those commercial breaks.
You
See.
put the challenge on
Yeah,
it,
let's see how that works.
Okay.
Earl Thomas.
Yes.
Everybody's talked about him for the last year and linked him to here, and he's come out and said he's not taking a hometown discount.
Tried to tell everybody.
Do you think there's still? Think he might wind up here?
I don't think the Cowboys are giving up. I think they're going to make him an offer. They'll go after him a little bit, but I don't know if they can give him the most money, and that might be the deciding factor.
Do you think?
I've heard.
I don't think they can give him the most money.
This is what's so funny, and I know this is just a starting mark with him and his agent. I've heard 15 mil, I've heard 13 mil, and I've heard 12 mil.
That might be too high for this team.
And
10. I'll go 10.
and I'm thinking the Cowboys thinking 7, 8, 9, and 10 at the most. Now, I have not talked to nobody, but you can't. Yeah, they can. I mean, they can work magic, but you can't get D-Law, Earl Thomas, Dak, Zeke, and all these guys.
No.
Yeah.
In the next in this year and next year, these guys we just talked about, glad to have, maybe the only guys we have.
That's true. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think is safety a position you shouldn't spend that big money on?
On this team, they don't value it as much as maybe another team would.
Is that because
the
of scheme?
The Ravens value safeties. What you call it? Value safeties. The Seattle. They value safeties. Some teams value safeties.
Is that a system deal?
Yeah, well,
Scheme?
they pay certain guys. Some guys ain't gonna pay offensive linemen as much. Some guys will. We do.
Maybe that's changing with Richard, though. It could, maybe. I don't know.
You know what? I don't know. A lot of things is in flux this year. With Coach Garrett not being locked down, we got a lot of 1-year guys that we've signed to 1-year options. So the Cowboys kind of, to me, keeping their options open. Did they re-sign Coach Rashad to any extended period of time?
I don't think they've worked anything. No.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of things in flux.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't think all that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, maybe some people need to be uncomfortable. Maybe you need to go into a year going, you know what? I need to ball out. Maybe that's. I don't know. I'm not. But we've tried it the other way.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a good thing. I don't know. I wouldn't like it if I was in their shoes.
No.
But I mean, you've done it the other way. Why not? Let's say, okay, here we go. Let's roll.
That's true. I think they're going to be forced into that position. Some of those guys are going to have to. They're going to be on the hot seat a little bit.
It's just amazing how we look at things as fans. How we get pumped up for things, and it's a lot. It's a lot going to building a team that you have to think about, and you got enough young players now that you can kind of project, if they, barring a bad injury, you can kind of project who they are and who need to be paid. But
I think in some ways, like, they had these young guys, but they couldn't do a whole lot extra because they had so much dead money.
yes,
The salary cap was blown away. Well, now they have the salary cap space, but now they got to pay all these young guys. And so they're almost right back in the same position where they don't have a lot of flexibility.
No,
don't think
not.
so?
No. I think
I mean, how can they bring in anybody else when they've got
Now
four
that
guys
ain't the ticket. Now that ain't what they've been preaching the last 3 years around
Right.
here. It ain't been about. They have literally told us if we can get through free agents without signing one person, we will do it.
Right.
Okay. You say we let 3 or 4 guys go last year, go to other teams because of that dead money.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you don't have to do that. You can get everybody kind of halfway fitted under the cap, if you now it comes down to the in-house scouting and really knowing, okay, this is the guy we need to sign. We don't need to sign Nate. We need to sign Shannon. We got to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And being confident in knowing that Shannon going to give you everything he got.
Well, I guess the concern is they're going to sign DeMarcus for $20-25 million or whatever. They better sign Amari Cooper again because they just traded a number 1 pick for him. That's going to be another $16 million or whatever. You've got Dak. They're going to sign him. That's the 25-30. All this money you'd be spending on free agents, you got to spend it on your own guys now.
Right.
So how can you bring in an Earl Thomas or something like that, spend that kind of money on a big free agent? It almost seems like they're hamstrung a little again.
No, they not.
No?
They not. This is the thing is, see, and it's just how I felt. I felt this way last year. I was telling you, they ain't signing Earl. I mean, I'm not in their meetings or nothing, but what's the advantage to signing Earl? Well, the advantage is he's a playmaker. He can make everybody on your back end better.
Yeah.
But
Everybody needs a better back end.
yeah. But for $13 million,
No.
is it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, as much as I like Earl,
I think
I love me some Earl, but
I think they're interested, but I think both of you are right. I think what he wants and what they're willing to give, I think it's too far apart.
Yeah.
Give $10 million. I'm probably in on that. I can figure out who doesn't need to be here to get that guy in here because you see what he can do. He can change a game single-handedly.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's going to put me in cap hell like they were, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I don't.
But so that's the tricky thing now is if you're in win now mode, if you got these young guys that you're ready, you made it to the divisional round, you're ready to take that next step. Can you do it without bringing somebody in? It's a tough situation. I mean, it's hard to manage that cap. I think Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones are doing a better job at it. But how do you, if you're in win now mode, how do you bring in a guy, that key piece, spend that kind of money without wrecking everything else?
Yeah.
what you got to do is you got to guarantee a lot of money on short periods of time. And that way, if you got this is just a deal. When you start talking about 5 years and a guy don't turn out to be what you think he is, you in trouble.
Stuck, yeah.
But if you do a 3-year deal, you may overpay him a little bit. You got to walk your way out of that, but you can't walk your way out of 5 years. It hurts.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk more free agency and other stuff. Taylor's going to join the show today.
Oh, it's not going to blow us off.
No, we'll have to ask her why she blew us off the last 2 or 3 weeks. So
Maybe she's busy.
maybe she just doesn't like us.
That could be. We already
Maybe
drove
she
off
has
Broadus.
things to do like I do at 12.
Too important. Yeah.
Right,
Are you eating lunch with us today?
Nah, I got to blow you off, bro. To blow you off.
See where we rate.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Look who you make it say something, but that over there, no.
all right. We'll be right back on Hanging with the Boys.
Kaboo, Texas is 3 days, 6 stages, over 100 artists, including The Killers, Lionel Richie, Leonard Skinner, Miss Lauryn Hill, Kid Rock, Alanis Morissette, Little Big Town, The 8 Vet Brothers, Counting Crows, Pitbull, Sting, the Black Eyed Peas, and the list goes on. Don't miss Kaboo, Texas. Single day and 3-day passes are on sale now. Visit KAABOOTexas.com to get your passes today.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
You want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. Surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean. Fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Back. Kurt.
Picking number 1 in the draft is a good thing, but picking your wedgies is a bad thing. So never pick again. Reach for Tommy John instead, the innovative men's underwear that has a no wedgie guarantee. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
By the way, y'all are going to have to do this without me next week.
Yeah, you're going to be hungover?
I'm not going to be hungover. I have a friend coming in town for the weekend for St. Patrick's Day in Dallas. So
you'll be hungover then.
He flies out Monday late afternoon, so I have to I have to babysit Monday.
Nice.
So
you're kind of in charge now, right? Everybody's gone. You're kind of
Excuse me.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not in charge.
I think you are.
No. Derek's always in charge, even when he's not here. It's weird around the building today because it's spring break, and a lot of people get their vacation in this week, so
yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Very quiet around here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think the family's on vacation too. Is this the week they usually go on vacation?
Probably, I would think.
So
I'm sure their kids are on spring break too. So.
Very quiet in the building, almost eerily quiet. Like I pulled in the parking garage this morning, and like there were no cars in the parking garage. So.
Enjoy it while we can, huh?
Right.
Antonio Brown to the Raiders.
Is that where he's going? There's rumors that him and Le'Veon both are going to wind up with the Raiders. That would be...
That's kind of strange. The Raiders give up Cooper and then bring in Brown.
Yeah.
I guess they got more... I don't know.
And Cooper's such... Like, man, when he got here, he is such the anti-wide receiver personality. Most of those guys have... They're boisterous and loud and very outspoken, and he is the quietest human being. He's probably the quietest guy in that locker room, hands down.
Quiet.
So
left tackle Brown leads pass for Raiders.
What about saw Justin Houston got let go by Kansas City? Any interest in that?
No.
No?
Maybe. I don't know much about him, to be honest.
Yeah.
It'd be worth kicking the tires on.
Where do you think they need help, Kurt?
Where do they need help?
Yeah.
Excuse me, defensive line.
D-line?
D-line, for
You
sure.
good everywhere else? You good at safety?
Well, I always upgrade, but I think defensive line's the biggest.
But if you were going to go pay somebody.
Pay somebody, I like Nate's idea of a big old fire plug in the middle there to stop somebody.
So if you were going to go in free agency and get somebody, offense or defense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get Sue and pay him his kind of money, but I would spend some on a defensive lineman.
What if you could get Sue for a 1-year deal for about $8 million?
You better be ready to go to the Super Bowl if you're going to bring him in. I think, like the Rams, I think that was a big missing piece for them, and he helped them.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
If you paid somebody, Nate, what position would you pay?
The middle of that defensive line.
Same as Kurt.
I got to have it, man.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: would you rather, if you could get a stud draft pick or a stud established guy that you could probably give a 3-year deal to, that you know what his body of work is and you know he's going to be good, would you?
I'm giving it to the veteran guy.
Would you? How come?
Because if we're in win now mode, I can't wait and see
if you develop a guy or not.
Yeah. You know, and that's rare when you get a guy to just come in this league and take over. You know, I can't,
Here's some defensive tackle free agent. You got Sue, of course, Timmy Jernigan, Corey Leggett, Sheldon Richardson, Alan Bailey, Kyle Williams, Muhammad Wilkerson. Any of those? Halati Nagata? Any of those? Benny Logan?
I'm going to tell you something, my friend. If they stick to what they're doing and saying they're going to sign their guys, that's fine. But I can't wait to see who we draft. With the 58th pick, is I'm correct, or 54, 56. I want to be sitting there looking at TV. With the 56th pick of the draft, the Dallas Cowboys take the left side of all of New York.
What?
They just went over to the national utility spot and got every fire hydrant they saw. Come on, man, I'm
you know what?
Crazy.
You know what we need to lobby for? We need to lobby to let Nate make one of our picks this year, or next year at the draft.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, they you know what? And if they don't give me a defensive lineman, I will go up there and say, the Cowboys take with the 56th pick, and I will pick me a defensive lineman.
Announce who you want to announce?
Yeah.
How great would that be?
That's who I want to announce.
How great would that be? He just has a guy, and he's like,
yeah, this is the guy that Nate Noonan's picked. Now, Mr. Jones, I know I won't never be a part of your family no more. I know I won't be on the family portrait, but hey, I'm trying to save the franchise.
Man,
that'd be hilarious.
You should get Robert Blackwell on. He's not very talkative.
Yeah, would he come on? I
don't know. I think he might. He's the one that actually turns the card in. I would love. He's got to have some stories because he's been here 30 years.
Yeah.
And he's the one that actually takes
that card up there. Yeah.
Takes the card up. It goes to the draft every year, and it's usually him and his wife, and they sit at the table, and then he gets the call from here. Writes it on the card and actually goes and turns the card in. So
Yeah.
I bet he's got some interesting
He would be
stories.
good. He just
ask him if you see him in the lunchroom today.
You know what, fellas? What would you draft, my friend? What would you, if you had to have your pick? What would it be?
With the Irving being gone and Gregory being gone, it's got to be D line. I mean, inside, you still don't really know what you got with Taco, like either inside or out, and the way they value defensive linemen. You know, you signed Daniel Ross, and I think he's got potential. He showed flashes. I don't know if he was consistent enough because he was inactive a lot of games, but I think you probably right there in the middle with you guys, the middle interior defensive lineman.
Let me tell you something, man. You know, and like I said, I don't know how these young players think, but if I'm Taco, I'm be like, man, they just messed up because I'm finna show them that I'm the baller that they draft.
So. He's got an opportunity.
Yeah, I'll be like,
the door's open.
Yeah. Him and Darren Armstrong, it's like, here we go. You know, I just couldn't draft a guy and not give him opportunity. And I'm talking about Darren Armstrong. He just.
Are you hearing anything about him? Because we all like
good,
him.
Man.
And we hear he's good, yeah.
But will they put him on the field? I mean, will they give him up?
Well, you could say the same thing about Taco, right? I mean, they drafted him first round, and do they need to give him that time? It's kind of a balance.
Tried. The thing about it, last year they tried, and wow. I mean, they did. They gave him opportunities, and he didn't.
No, you ready to throw
out
it
of
in
all
there?
the guys they've picked? Out of all the guys they've picked, he the only one. Everybody else kind of contributed in some positive way or fashion,
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll be. He was a little banged up last year. Hopefully he'll come back.
You know what was good to see today? Although no one is in the building, there were some guys outside the building today.
Yeah, I just forgot about that. That was starting.
What is that, Kurt?
That's the
Elaborate.
captain workouts have started. So there was a lot of guys out there.
There were.
I'm surprised.
What are the captain's workouts?
Well, the team can't lead any of these.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to have, obviously, coaches or even the training staff out there. So the players run it, the captains.
Kind of voluntary.
It's voluntary.
Come work out if you want.
Yeah, here's whoever's the captain, Dak will say, hey, we're going to meet this time and do this and that. And so I'm sure there are a lot more guys out there than I expected.
Yeah.
So.
Did y'all have that when you played, Nate? Did y'all have captains workouts?
No, it was Jimmy said this is when you start working out to be there. Yeah, captain or no captain. That's why they put all them limits on it because coaches like, hey, this is when we start. And March 1st, be out there.
So you guys were going March 1st too, huh? You were getting going. I couldn't remember how soon you guys got going back in the day.
Yeah.
But March 1st, you guys were like full-blown workouts.
Oh, man, we was going at it, man. Same strength coach, though.
Yeah.
So, but it was more, he had more control and, we had less injuries back then, too.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that way with Landry also, where you'd start teams would really get going?
Yeah, but when it first started with Coach Landry, when it first ever started with Coach Landry, the guys worked there during off season.
Yeah.
It didn't change until the 70s. They didn't have to work.
I think it was later than that. I mean, back in the day, training camp, that's when you came to get in shape.
Yeah, 6 weeks. 6 real weeks.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize these guys, they really only have like 2 months of downtime. So you're basically grinding 10 months out of the year because they're already.
And then the guys that's in the NFC Championship and the AFC and Super Bowl, they grinding longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're also probably celebrating a lot harder, too.
That's true.
There he is, Earl Thomas, walking into the Cowboys locker room on the NFL Network.
Yeah, you better specify on the NFL Network, not.
Yeah, not in our locker room. We have not seen Earl Thomas at the Star.
No.
So, what'd you think about? We hadn't been on the show since David Irving went and did his Instagram live thing.
Man,
what did you think about that, Kurt?
It kind of losing it. It seems like a little bit. He's just out there, man.
Basically,
now I think some of his points are valid. The whole opioid thing and players on giving the prescription drugs and all that. That's a difficult situation that's going to have to be addressed sometimes. But I'm not sure he did it the right way.
I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to put it just like simple as this right here. You sign up. There's certain rules. You sign up. You can call in here and tell me how they can make weed legal. You can do all the things you want to say. Guess what?
What?
There's no David Irving and there's no Randy Gregory. Now we forced to rearrange maybe, and I don't know what they was going to draft, but now you have no other choice but to rearrange your draft or your free agency because you done lost 2 guys. And people think, I plan for that. You can't plan for that. It's like you couldn't plan for Jason Witten leaving last year. It's like you can't plan for a major injury. But you have to go with what you see and what you know. You cannot you hurting your team.
Mm-hmm.
So now this year when we draft, we have no room. The second round pick is where we normally pick these type guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? We don't have that second round pick because this is our first. We got to go out and get a guy that can help us.
Yep.
You know, if you have a major injury, that's one thing. But just to say, oh man, well he got something wrong with him mentally or this, that, and the other. Now all of a sudden we don't have him because of that.
Yeah. It's kind of sad because I
mean, I listened to it, man. Especially after David Irvin did what he did, you know,
he wasn't coming back anyway.
Oh man, and then he's saying all what he's saying, and then people, well, he's right, you know. No, he's wrong. The rules and through the Players Association says, hey man, we got 2 months before we check everybody for weed. Quit smoking weed.
Yeah, I mean, these guys know when it's coming, and it's to me, it's sad because here's a guy that had, from all accounts that you hear of guys on the team and behind the scenes, this guy had all the talent and potential in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been one of the best to ever play that position if he would have just put his head down, worked, grinded, do it for 3 or 4 years, set your family up to be in a good spot. His daughter would never have to worry about school, never have to worry about anything. You got a very limited amount of time in the NFL to make your money. He had a chance to make a whole lot of money. I'm talking $30-40 million over 3 years, and obviously that was not more important than you know. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes and what all he's dealing with personally, and I don't know what's going on with that, but just to know, hey, you can grind it out for 3 years and you never have to worry about anything.
Gregory is a different deal. He's a different deal. You knew what you were signing up for. You knew what you were signing up for. You knew when you drafted him as high as you drafted him what was the drawbacks, the kickbacks, and whatever. This kid tries, you know, but then when David Irvin come out and says what he says, you know, and the way that he says it, like, almost like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And then you got a guy that does care and wants to be here. And
And I'm saying to myself,
Yeah.
No.
Two very related things, but two totally different attitudes. So kind of sad. All right. What's not sad is Taylor Stern, and she will join the show next on Hanging with the Boys.
If you're like me and you love, if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just
get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for Tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup. And now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper soft coolers at otterbox.com.
While a player could look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Spence versus Garcia boxing. IBF welterweight champion Errol Spence, Dallas's own Errol Spence Jr., set to defend his title against 4-division world champion and current WBC lightweight champion Mikey Garcia. Saturday at AT&T Stadium. You won't want to miss this highly anticipated blockbuster showdown. Tickets are on sale now at SeatGeek.com. The official ticket provider of AT&T Stadium. Get yours before they sell out.
It's just Saturday?
This Saturday, and it's on. Woo! It's weird. It's on Fox pay-per-view.
That's their new thing.
Yeah, I guess Fox is getting into the pay-per-view business. So if you want to go see a big-time fight at the stadium, this is a good one to go see.
It'll be big.
Go check it out.
Shannon, you do some light boxing.
Welcome to the show, Taylor Stern.
Hey.
You do
Tay.
some light boxing
so nice
of
of you
your
not
own.
to
I
blow
do.
us off this week.
Yeah, I rearranged some things, talked to my people, talked to Shannon's people, got it all synced up.
All right.
In other words, what she normally does at this time canceled or didn't
No,
work
I
out
just
this
had
week.
random meetings. But Shannon, you do light boxing and Cowboys Fit. Could we ever see
do.
you in the ring?
You know, I used to spar on weekends.
Really?
Yeah, I've been punched in the face some with boxing gloves. I trained MMA for a while, and then my joints got too bad to where it like hurt.
Yeah.
Whenever people would like twist me certain ways, and I was like, I'm just gonna stick with the boxing because I enjoyed it more. And then we would spar on weekends. It was actually a lot of fun, and I actually wanted to fight, but when you're over, I think 35, you have to have special permission from like the sanctioning
Over
body
30.
to fit. So
Just
I would never be able to fight in a sanctioned fight, but I would get in there and spar again.
could be a good team building activity.
I don't know if HR would approve of that.
We all watch him box. Is that what
Get in there and just
Sure.
start wailing on each other.
Shannon, ready to spar?
3 men. Maybe we do that on Hangin one day. 3 men enter, 1 man leave. We talked about that before. If us 3 walked in and me and Kurt had to get out of that door and Nate was in between us and the door, could we do it?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, we don't know the day that Nate Newton will get onto Instagram, but another favorite of ours is on Instagram.
Who?
Mr._Joe. That would be Mr. Joe Looney.
What?
Yeah, officially on Instagram. Already talked to Dana, our wonderful social media coordinator, to help us find a incredible photo of Joe Looney that we know exists out there. We just need to find the right one that's like Monday Motivation brought to you by Joe Looney.
So is it spelled out MISTER?
_Joe.
All right.
And his
Mr.
first
Joe.
post is what I wanted to focus on today because, I heard you guys just as I was walking in talking about the David Irving thing and the negativity that comes with that. But Joe, as you know, Nate, always brings the positivity. And here he is with his 3rd post ever. I thought this had really good lighting. Just a selfie. #newbie. #help me. That's just classic Joe.
Yeah, but all that, he needs some help.
Yeah. He's got a lot of hair.
He look like a young Bin Laden. I'm serious. Look at him. If you look at it, look at it.
A little bit.
I'm telling you, if you
Maybe
look at
the lighting isn't the best.
If Bin Laden teased his hair a whole lot, I mean, I can maybe see the resemblance.
I mean, in person, though, I bet you like the Bin Laden, Joe Looney size difference body-wise is vast.
Joe, I mean, when you catch it from the side of that light, Joe is special, man. Joe will
That
not.
wasn't what I was expecting.
That actually looks like one of those vintage filters with that light.
It just looks like he's pondering. But if you guys could all just
He's in the car.
give Joe a follow.
Yeah,
he's in the car. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I loved your feedback.
Joe
Kurt, I don't
Looney.
think you thought he looked like that.
I wouldn't have gone that way, no.
I'm
No.
gonna follow. I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, so we're going to put out a post today.
I lost Joe.
Oh gosh. Nate's perusing my
Yeah.
Instagram. That
Whoa.
could get crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Looney, verified on Instagram. I'm
You guys-
sure
do
we'll see some goodies.
Y'all coach these guys?
No.
There you go.
Let them loose.
There's been a couple that have asked us to, hey, will you help me get it set up and will you get it started? But really, they just kind of, I mean,
they have people for that.
Yeah, most of them have marketing or agents or a handler that does stuff like that for them. Most of them, honestly, probably run their own stuff. There's a couple of guys that
Dak needs help with his Twitter.
Does he?
He just copy, like, you can see that he probably went, like, copy and paste, and the quotes are still around. Like,
somebody texts him something and
like,
he copies and
hey,
pastes
you should put this, and he just is like, sure.
We've had some, there's been some babies being born around here that have shown up on Instagram lately.
Yes, Zach Martin's child, 9 pounds already,
Good
ready
grief.
for the field.
When was that?
Charlie, what was he?
Over the weekend?
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday, yeah. We got Jeff Heath's baby, Antoine Woods, Cole Beasley. We don't know if that child will be a Cowboys family member or wherever. But what do you think? We talked about this earlier. Free agency and draft. Where is the biggest need on this team? What do you think? We all think it's...
Did Nate say O-line?
We all said D-line. Especially with
because of what happened with Randy and David.
That added to it. Nate's been on the wagon of, hey, we need a big fat man in the middle to plug up the run. So this just added to it, no matter where at on the D line. But what do you think? If they went to get one guy, say they went and signed a big time free agent, Earl Thomas has been in the conversation. Would you go that route, or would you go D line? Would you go totally receiver, tight end? What would you do?
Like Nate, you're thinking like a Vince Wilfork type guy, right in the middle, just like a huge dude that you cannot get past.
That's right.
I mean, that would be great. I don't have a specific name right now. I mean,
I just want to know position.
Prior to 2 weeks ago, I would have said tight end, draft. You got to get that tight end second round, but it seems like that got solved pretty easily by 82. So, yeah, I mean, I think your defensive line, because when everyone was talking about how the Rams beat the Cowboys, it was, we could just run right over you. And that's what we saw. C.J. Anderson destroyed the Cowboys. And if you had that big blocker right there, no one's getting past you. And maybe that's just a small sample size of one game because you'd seen the D-line not have that, I guess, deficiency before.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, now that you do not have David Irving no time soon, probably no Randy Gregory, you still don't really know what's going to happen with DeMarcus Lawrence and how that's going to shake out and how that's going to affect other deals in free agency. It just seems like defensive line is your spot. And I felt, you guys tell me what you think, they figured it out okay with the safety position last year. I mean, of course, you'd love to have that big name and he'd sell a lot of defensive jerseys, which isn't a big thing. But do you think that they were okay with safety at the end?
I mean, I think they were better than they've been in previous years. Yeah. It's probably the best year they've had in the last 10 years, probably.
Did you see Xavier Woods' tweet?
I did not, but I saw where you wrote it down.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Won't you read it to us?
Said he tweeted out, what was it? Oh, don't think I don't peep the disrespect.
He talked about that last year, too. I remember him. I feel like that's a very common DB thing, is like chip on my shoulder type thing. I mean,
motivation.
Yeah, literally what Anthony Brown has, the chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he has a chip tattooed on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Of course, when you hear this talk about Thomas, it's usually in place of Heath, isn't it? And Heath, the guy that's kind of...
I'd say like this here.
Do you want Landy Collins?
I don't want nobody. I want the fire hydrant. I need me a fat man, greasy.
Go find
greasy.
Greasy.
Gotta be greasy.
Greasy, smelly, where you can slip through holes.
You don't want to sit next to him in the training table.
Yeah, but me and him sit up and eat a
He's by himself in the rookie locker room.
bacon sandwich together.
You've been good, though. You've been on your health grind.
Now, we and him need to just sit up and double stack bacon sandwich, mayonnaise coming out the side of your mouth.
I read this interesting article, though, the other day about what the Cowboys would do at running back in 2019. And I know that seems like a far-fetched idea because of the fact that you have Zeke. What else would you need? And that's true. You're not going to go get a big-name running back in free agency because everyone knows if they come here, they're not getting the bulk.
Right.
But, I mean, you do need depth in that position. And we saw that happen last year. Like, You just need somebody. I wish Rod Smith would have had a better year last year because it seemed like in the end of 2017 he was really on the way up, and that just kind of leveled out for him.
He didn't get as many chances.
He didn't get as many chances, and then I don't know. I feel like you got to stack up on your O-line still because it's just such a brutal position.
For us, it is.
Backups.
Yeah, you need some more depth. Poor Joe Looney. He needs some depth there.
Yep. What do you think, before we get out of here, because I haven't asked you this on the air anyway, what did you think about, because Nate's kind of done a 180 on what he thought last week. He's
It's about Witten.
Yeah. What do you think about Gold Jacket Witt coming back?
Man, I heard you say this, and this is so true. You said this just in passing. He's like a kid back at the first day of school.
Oh.
He walks into that training table, and it's like, man on campus is back.
He was in the building last week. And it's
seriously true.
He talked to people I've never seen him talk. He walked up to Broadus and was like, "Hey man, how you doing? What are you doing?" Like, "Hey," and it was like he just walked up to people and was like, "Okay." He's like,
it's seriously true.
Like he's so excited to be back.
And he's that kind of the guy. I feel like, and I know no one's really talked to him about his decision process, but I think he knows in his heart, the next time he retires, it's gonna be like, goodbye, Silent in the Night, or something he's going to just post about, because they were talking about this. So true. There has never been a retirement ceremony for someone, especially a Cowboy, like there was for Jason Witten. I mean, the entire city turned upside down. They had every single staff member. We were in New York.
Tried to ruin our retreat last year.
Ruined our retreat. The fact of the matter is he must have been so unhappy that he had to come back and play football and felt like his journey was not complete here.
I will love to know that story in about 5 years. Was it him? Was it coach? Was it ownership? Was it players?
Did you feel the personal pressure? This is what I'm curious of.
Was it his kids?
What I've heard, they were happy all along, but was it the personal pressure, if you were to go back this time last year where he's feeling like, hey, everyone's pushing me out the door, I better find something, set myself up so I'm, successful once I leave here. Perfect opportunity with Monday Night Football approaching him. Would he say now, hey, ignore that noise, don't listen to other people, let me be the deciding factor in that? Because now he's here and he must have been so unhappy or just couldn't resist the opportunity to come back.
Why don't you see this year if you can get him to tell you that story?
I'm trying to get in the woods with Leighton Vander Esch, and that's hard enough.
Yeah. True. Taylor wants to go on a wolf hunt with Vander Esch and his dad.
Shannon, you're more than welcome to come.
Well, the thing about it is, it's easy to get there, but you got to be willing to do what they do, whatever it is. They may be rolling around in wolf poop. You go roll around.
Put this on. What is it?
So you have the smell of the wolves. You go.
I thought we were talking about Witten. I had to catch up for a second.
Some of you trying to get in the wolves for Leighton. I'm just saying that may be.
I think that would be the Witten one TBD.
Have you ever been hunting?
No.
Sometimes you have to put animal urine on you so the animals
I'm saying is you gonna get
there
involved.
Are showers at the end, it's a dark time.
You gotta be that all day.
You see Trey with the blackout on, and
you need to take Fish Killer with you.
Here's a bottle of deer urine. Spray it off.
She got her blackout, man.
This is the most excited I've seen him since I walked in here.
I can see you, girl.
Thinking about me with deer poop.
You either got your rifle or you got your.
I know how to shoot.
That's what I'm saying. You stalking them. You got on your camouflage. You can't see nothing but. It's just
That's what's gonna make me a better football player in the end. Because that's my theory right now. Why Leighton is such a good football player.
Because he would do whatever it takes.
Because he's a hunter. He's a hunter. So he knows, and I literally went to Ben Bloom and I was like, do you think this is true, this theory of mine? And he said, absolutely. He said the fact that he knows how to keep his nerves calm. He said, what do you think most players would do if they saw a wolf 5 feet away from him? Leighton knows how to handle that.
Yeah, he just grabs it with his bare hand and chokes him out.
Yeah, so a quarterback is nothing.
No.
A quarterback is nothing.
I started rewatching Game of Thrones over the weekend to catch up, to get myself ready for April 14th. And I forgot how badass those wolves are in that show. Those dire wolves.
Is that the one with them dragons?
Seen it?
Yeah.
Me neither. Yeah.
That's the only part I
Stand
care about
strong.
when the dragons just blow up everything with that fire. They always come save that lady, don't they? At the right time.
She's got 3 of them.
Yeah, they feel you.
Funny enough, when you were asking me about the, what I would do and be all in that mode, I thought you were talking about Witten. So my answer to that is exactly that. If Witten wants to be in the woods with the Cowboys players again, he's going to have to do what they do. And that means that you are now 36. You're back to being the oldest member on the team by far. You got to do what they do. If that means rolling around, being crazy, you got to do that. Because now they're coming in, and he didn't know last year's rookie class. I know he met and talked to him, but he's got to be there with them and, ingrained in everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
I think it was easier 2 years ago when Dez was kind of that bridge. I'm curious to see how that is this year.
I just hope he has fun. I hope what he was doing in the training table the other day. Yeah, I just hope he enjoys being here and enjoys being, like you said, being with the young guys. And
they're gonna come on to him when he starts playing, and they're like, "Look, we're not winning games. We could have had a drafted tight end. Were you just being selfish and wanted to, play the out?"
No, don't even think that way, please.
No, I'm not thinking this way. I think.
No, he coming to bust some folks up. I almost cussed.
Did he have a talk with him in the training table last week?
No. Why would you bring back this guy if you don't have no plans for him? Do not bring him back. You're wasting time. You're going backwards then. This dude ready. He ready. He got to be ready. He's ready. The Cowboys are ready. We need 10+ wins. We want to be sitting here 6 months from now and be
Let's hope he's ready.
Yeah,
Not like they worked him out before.
You know who's ready?
Yeah.
William's ready for us to get the hell off the air. We're over. You know what?
All right.
That was a good ending to the show. I really liked it.
We always end the show strong. We need to start the show with deer poop talk. I think that gets us going. That re-energizes us.
Tay-What right at the start.
We should.
Go hang out with William.
Yeah.
I'm back.
We should do that. All right. Well, Kurt, thanks for showing up.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thanks,
Nate, thanks for
Shannon.
bringing it. Taylor, thank you for gracing us with your presence. William, thank you so much for
Thanks,
being
Will.
our
Bro, Will, what's
special
up,
guest
man?
producer and stepping up when no one else wanted to do this show.
True
You were
friend.
there for us.
Since y'all don't have Hot Boy #1, y'all the Lost Boys.
No sense.
Presley, thanks for
If
scheduling
we don't sign
everything.
DeMarcus Lawrence, you're going to find out there is going to be the Lost Boys. Promise that.
Hear ya.
Oh, man.
We will be back.
Pressure.
I won't be, but you guys hold down.
I'll join you.
Hold down the fort for me next week.
All right.
All right. They'll be
Shannon,
back.
can I join him?
Absolutely.
Sure, of course.
You can host the show if you want to.
All right.
All right. See you later. Hang with the boys. Bye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. How about this, Cowboys?
Make that